Hi guys, welcome to our final intern vlog of spring 2019. Today we got our great intern team.
Hi, I'm Sarah Shane. I go to Cal State Dominguez Hills, and my major is audio recording.
What's up, guys? My name's Scott Holdaway. I go to Cal State Dominguez Hills, and I am in digital media arts with a television option.
Hi, I'm Stella. I go to school at Cal State Long Beach. My major is in film with a focus in directing, and I graduate in May, so pretty soon.
Hi, my name is Talia Partida. I go to Orange Coast College, and I'm studying audio production.
Hi, my name is Daniel Yang. I'm a student at CSULB, and I'm majoring in film with an emphasis in directing. First question, what was one of your favorite projects or events that you guys have covered this semester that you guys really enjoyed, or something that is very memorable to you guys? So I guess I'll just go first. The events that I really like covering was actually Copper the Horse and Peter. And that story revolved around Peter, who is a child with autism. And they were saying that when he met Copper the Horse, he was able to develop emotionally and mentally. And it was just helping him to grow as a person. And the story at the heart of it was one about family. And I think that's why it stuck with me the most. We had Scott there. We were setting up the camera, and then I believe her name was Karen. She brought out the horse, Copper, and she was like, hey, we have to introduce you to the horse. I'm like, oh, we have to do introduce. Hi, Copper. I'm Daniel, and I'm an intern at PatNet TV. And I was like, what does this mean? And she was like, they have to know your smell. They need to know what you look like. So if you're in the shade, you have to reintroduce yourself, because if you don't introduce yourself, I didn't know this, but horses go wide-eyed when they don't know what's happening. And then when we were setting up, the horse came right at Scott. He came right at Scott. And you want to tell us about that a little bit?
Dude, it was, I didn't expect it. I don't know. I've seen horses from a distance, and that was cool. But she opened the stable, and Copper just came right up to me. And just being face to face with a horse was like looking a dinosaur in the face. It scared me. In the end, it was cool. I feel like me and Copper sort of, came around, and we were friends by the end of it. But I think my favorite event as an intern is probably the LB Nightcap. Not only did we get free margaritas,
That's true.
but I also got to just film just the event. It was fun. Got to dance around on the dance floor with the camera. Mm-hmm. They had me down to film the dancing at the event, so it was kind of cool just to be able to get the camera and just hit the dance floor and just kind of film everything that was going on.
Plus, it's challenging on a production perspective to be filming people that are not there to do anything specifically. It's not scripted or predetermined, so you have to catch it when it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's multiple episodes of this that we did, the Long Beach Lens, but the first one has to be one of my favorites because it was so difficult to do the audio because I was facing away from the screen, and then I was trying to listen to Jesus from behind me, focus on what was coming through the headphones, what's coming through the monitor for everybody to listen to. And then I think Angel is the director on that one, so I had to try to listen to him. I was listening to Sarah because she was also calling out things. And then I had two fans going on either side of me. And so I can't really hear all that much, but I'm trying to focus on it all. And then one of the guests kept, her audio would peak every single time she laughed, and the first time I didn't know. And I was just kind of normal. She was talking super quiet, so I had it boosted so high, and then she laughed, and I was like, oh my god, I thought my ears were bleeding.
My favorite project to work on was actually the very first day of my internship. Is we did an event at the expo for Black History Month. And I just got here, and they're like, okay, here's the equipment, time to load it up. Okay, we're leaving. And we got there, and okay, time to take it all out and take the camera out and everything. And it was just hands-on from day one. It wasn't okay, let's have a few days of training and stuff. Although there was plenty of training and took a lot of classes, but like the first day you just get to do everything. So I thought it was awesome. I'm like, this internship rocks from day one. Yeah.
I enjoyed learning how to use Photoshop because I was really absorbed doing the things that mostly Sarah put me to, big event flyers and things like that. I also enjoyed taking the classes, was fun. Learning how to light and how to use the studio were things very interesting to me. I've never really worked in a studio before, learned like how to use it, so that was pretty fun. And Andrew, the guy who teaches the classes, is a really fun guy to like mingle with, as well as the other members. I just enjoy mingling with other people, so for me, taking the classes was fun. And I'm still continuing to take classes throughout the month of May.
I mean, and you mentioned working in the studio. I mean, look at where we're at. We're in the studio, working in the studio.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it only took 7 hours to set up all the cameras.
They don't know that.
What were some things that were challenging during your time at PadNet?
I'm ready.
She has a list.
Yeah.
Yes. No, basically my whole internship, just because I know nothing about video. I'm only audio, like that's what my major is. Everything that I do outside of here is audio. Like, did a couple of things like growing up, like doing little videos and stuff, but never anything like this. So like learning how to use a DSLR, learning just like taking pictures, lighting, everything. I was like, it's really interesting to learn. Like, I'm really glad that I took this internship because I got to learn both sides, because I do eventually want to end up in like doing audio for the film industry.
For me, it was pretty challenging just editing, because it's one of those things that we do a lot as interns, is edit a lot of video content. And I came here thinking I knew Adobe Premiere, and delving into it more, I realized, wow, there's like so much more to know about the software than I thought. And I have come to the conclusion that I really hate editing. So, you know, just doing things here, like whether it's to go out on location and shoot, or you're doing things here at PadNet that's editing, or in the studio, you'll discover what it is you like and what you don't like.
And just to add on to that, and I think part of the internship is also learning what you like and what you don't like. I think it's a chance to explore and not be afraid to mess up, you know? So I think that's one thing that's been challenging, is like trying all the new things, but the reverse of that is I'm also learning a lot of new things. I think that's why the training has been so good to me personally.
I agree with Stella. It was really challenging for me to do video editing because I'm mostly trained in doing audio editing. And also we did one shoot at LBCC and we had a hard time getting good audio. You realize you have to have a good picture or good audio to get a good, project going. And so having to fix things in post, as they famously say, is quite a challenge. And sometimes you just can't fix it.
So something I found kind of challenging about the internship is a lot of the things that we film are like events and things that just are happening around you. It's not like you have actors and you get to be like, all right, everyone back to square one, let's try that again. We film things that are happening and just going on. So you can't, redo things. You just got to be ready all the time. If something happens, like you got to be there ready to film it. You have to already be recording.
And going off of that, when we're doing interviews, the people that you're interviewing are not actors, so like they don't like it. Sometimes, depending on the person, they get scared. They get like deer in headlights type of reaction, having a camera and a light in front of them, and then like they say something, and you're like, "Oh, can you say one more time?" We didn't get good audio. They're like, they get like antsy because they're not people that are usually in front of the camera. So that is a challenge too.
I would also add on that it can be a challenge to also learn to use some of the equipment. Like you were saying, we captured bad audio at one of the events, but it was because we just didn't have as much experience with the audio equipment at that point. And, you learn from your mistakes. So I took it as a learning experience.
Thank you. Going on to our last question. What is your biggest takeaway from your time at PadNet? This could also include any advice you would give to future interns who want to work here at PadNet TV.
I think the biggest takeaway from this internship is that you do get to do every position when it comes to a production. You get to be behind a camera, you get to be in front of the camera, you get to hold the microphone, you get to edit. And so I would just take advantage of also all the classes that are available here. They'll teach you how to do lighting, how to work a green screen, just like everything they teach you. And so that's the biggest takeaway. And like once you go on to do your projects outside of this internship, you'll have enough knowledge, at least a little bit from every single thing, where you have the awareness of, oh, remember to capture this. Whereas if you didn't have that knowledge, you might make those mistakes. If you were just like, oh, I'm just going to try to make something with this camera and I have no training. Of course you can do that, but having that training makes it so that there's less mistakes.
One cool takeaway for me with PadNet was working hands-on and doing projects that actually had a purpose. I remember doing the graphics for the women's shelter, for instance, and it was cool to have Harmony come to me and be like, hey, we need this done, and this is what it's for. This is the reason. Just be a part of something that's going to a greater cause. And sitting there, it's easier to sit there and edit a project when like you can contextualize what it's going to be used for. And just being a part of that was really cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like the overall experience, and it also learning everything and using this place like as a resource. Everything that you're taught here kind of helps to like boost your confidence. And someone's like, oh, would you be able to, like, I did a lot of audio editing for a lot of the panels and everything. And so Harmony asked me, and she was like, okay, well, I need you to edit the audio for like these 2 panels. Like the audio is completely messed up because one of them also had an opera singer who would constantly put the mic down, and then he would go and sing, but then he'd be like moving around the whole time. So it's like trying to get everything to sound about the same, or at least where it doesn't sound like they're constantly moving out of range of the mic or turning away from the mic all the time. Like being able to be like, yeah, I can do that because now I have the experience that this place has given me. Like it just makes me feel better about being able to actually edit audio, edit videos, everything. So like I would say just never take this place for granted. Any project you do, anyone you talk to here, like it's always worth it in the end here.
For me, I think the biggest takeaway is just as PadNet advertises and like promotes, they give you hands-on training and it gives you practical things to work in the industry. Like for example, I with LB and ICAP, we did B-roll and then we did interview, we did setup. And I actually, about a month ago, got into a quick one-day like shoot for a fundraising night party, which is like the same thing as LB Nightcap. And so when they're asking me and interviewing me about like what kind of experience I had, I told them about my experiences on LB Nightcap, and they're like, oh, perfect. And I got that one day gig, So PadNet really does make a difference in how you work in the future.